Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 127 of the Co-op Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and today I'm joined by Mr. Gary A. Swaby. What's up, Gary?
Yo, what's up? Good to be back once again on the Co-op Podcast. Let's get to it.
We also have Mr. Charles Singletary. What's up, Charles?
What up, what up, what up? Glad to be back. I think I've been MIA for like 2 weeks now. I'm going to try to work on that.
I know, fully understood. And, of course, we have Mr. Michael A. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, man? Good to be back. I've also been on a hiatus. The streets needed me, so I had to be there.
Nah, that's all good. So, of course, it's been a very eventful week and a lot of topics to cover, but before we do that, as always, want to ask you guys what you've been playing. How about you go first, Mr. Michael A.? What have you been playing this week?
Smite, like always. Like I'm always on Smite. World of Tanks, though I've been slacking. I've only played like on 2 days. I need to get back on that. It's Rocket League and Mortal Kombat on PS4. Those are the last two on PS4, of course. I'll tell you what I haven't been playing. Street Fighter V Beta. But I guess we'll get into that later.
Sounds good. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely get into that. How about you, Charles? What have you been playing?
I've been playing... I'm going to go ahead and get this out the way so Mike can get out his feelings. I've been playing Destiny. Anything to say? No? He's muted? All right, cool. So I've been playing Destiny and enjoying myself.
Another thing. Waste your time. You're a grown-ass man. Waste your time any way you want. You know?
Just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Watch that paint dry. I'm not going to stop you.
Or the playing Destiny. Now I'm going into the backlog of games that I've been wanting to finish. So I started back playing Pillars of Eternity this morning. I haven't had a lot of time to play games. Been trying to watch a lot of anime, do a lot of reading and comics and stuff, and post stuff up on YouTube. But Pillars, I'm back into that. Started the game over, making some progress. I'm like halfway to the mark I was before, and I'm enjoying the game. I can't wait to finish it. After that, I'm gonna play Divinity: Original Sin, and Wasteland 2 as well. And I gotta finish Dragon Age Inquisition also.
Sounds awesome. I really wish that I could play some of these games. Man, I'm right now in The Witcher 3, so I don't know. We'll see, but I definitely need to get to some Dragon Age.
Word.
So, how about you, Gary? What have you been playing?
I played the God of War 3 remaster, and my official verdict is it's exactly the same. Like, the graphics are exactly the same. Like, nothing looks remastered to me. It just looks like the exact same game from PS3.
Which game?
God of War 3 remaster.
Oh.
I mean, the lighting effects have been improved slightly, but it's nothing like major. Like you wouldn't really notice anything, because the thing is, the game looked amazing for its time anyway when it came out on PS2. So like, there's not really much they could do to make it look better. To me, it just looks the same. But it's still a great game, so I'm not complaining. So, but I mean, I wouldn't buy the game. I got it sent to me, and I'm gonna review the game. But I wouldn't buy it. But to each their own.
I hate to interrupt, but I had to ask. I was going to ask you, is it worth the $40 to use? But you already answered that, so.
No, it's not worth $40.
It's $40.
It's not at all.
I mean, yeah. What do you expect? That's the going rate for remasters, though. That's what they're charging.
That's the going rate for that. It's the going rate for that bullshit. $40. God. All right.
I've also been playing Deadpool. I actually put out a video for our Games for Summer series, where we show off games that you should play this summer because there's nothing else to play right now. So yeah, I did a video of me playing Deadpool, so go check that out on the site.
Yeah, look at that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, And I've also been playing the best game this generation so far, Destiny.
The best game this generation.
You need to cut that out right now.
Yeah, that's a reach.
No, it's not Halo.
Well, we don't know about what Halo 5 is yet, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's just hope it works. That's all they need to worry about. Make sure it works. Anything else, or is that pretty much all you've been playing?
No, that's it.
All right, so I've been playing some more Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm actually going to be doing an article on that as well for the summer games. Because, again, cannot really emphasize enough that this is a game that people should pick up, whether it's on PC or Xbox. There probably will be a lot more sales for the PC version soon, because there's a lot more sales on Steam a little bit more frequently than it is on Xbox. So definitely check that out. I have been playing Mortal Kombat X as well. Tried out Tremor. I like the character a lot. I just don't understand why they didn't make this DLC pack all Marvel characters. I'm going to say all Mortal Kombat characters as opposed to the guest appearances. But I guess that they did confirm that Tremor was the last character in Character Pack 1. So that tells me that there probably is going to be another combat pack, if you will, which I'm not surprised because WB. They're always trying to make sure that they get that DLC out there for people who want it. So I look forward to hearing more about that soon. But other than that, that's all I've been playing. I got quite a bit of games to catch up on. So we'll be busy for quite a while in August. So we're going to jump right into the topics. As I said, we got quite a bit to discuss this week. Let's go ahead and let's kick things off with one of the latest things that's going on right now. For those of you who did not pre-order Street Fighter, but you at least heard about it, the beta is actually out now. I believe it's supposed to be for about 5 days. Now, when it did launch, it had some issues, of course, and I know that there were some people that did play it. Actually, Michael Lay probably will talk about this because he was in this beta. I was not in it. I know Tony was in it as well. So feel free to let us know what you think about if you were able to play something, or have you not been able to play at all, Michael Lay?
I've been able to play that. I've played the boss battle in the beta where you fight the press any button screen monster, and that monster is unbeatable. Like, I've not been able to beat him, so I've not been able to play the game. I just press any button and sit on the main menu, and then the game crashes, or it tries to connect the servers and fails. So, no, I couldn't give you any actual insight into how the game actually works because it doesn't work. But the only thing I know is that Capcom said that they're going to extend the length of the beta because of the downtime. They haven't said how long they're going to extend it for yet. I'm assuming it's going to be as long. I hope it's equal time to the amount of downtime it is. We'll see. But yeah, as of right now, unfortunately, I can't give insight into what I think of the game or the direction they're taking because I haven't seen it. So,
well, okay.
And I haven't seen anybody streaming it. I think one person got in for a while that I saw streaming it earlier today, and because the way it works apparently is you get into the game, you pick your character, it puts you in the training mode, and then it randomly matches you with someone online, and then after that match, it puts you back in training mode so you get matched with someone else online. He was in training mode for like 7 minutes, like 7-8 minutes, while I was trying to find an opponent, and it didn't find him an opponent, and then it kicked him off the game. That's the most action I've seen.
Wow. So. Yeah. Let me ask you a question real quick. So, you also tried to play Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the PlayStation 4 as well, correct?
At launch, yeah.
Did it have the exact same issues that you're seeing in this, or is this just something totally different?
I mean, Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PS4 at launch had a host of different issues. Like, the game was broken. Like, but at least you could somewhat connect. You know what I mean? Like, you could actually get past the intro screen eventually, and then get into the meat of the game. You can't even get to the game in the beta. I don't think it's the same people doing it, obviously. I think this is actually in-house Capcom for the beta. I think personally, I think they're just trying to stress test the servers, and they're trying to see how many minimum servers they can have while still being functional, and that's fine. But like, you gotta remember, they were telling people pre-order the game to get access to the beta.
Exactly.
People put money down to play the beta. There's lots of people who put money down this weekend, like, because they plan on playing this game all weekend. Yeah, good luck with that. You put that $5 or whatever down, you're not gonna get to play the game most likely. So I don't know. Honestly, I really wish I could say more because the game looks like it's gonna be interesting. I love the new design of Ken. Like I was completely against Street Fighter V until I saw Ken, and I was like, yeah, I gotta give this game a try. So yeah, it's honestly, I didn't pay. It's depressing. I really wish I could give people insight and comment on the direction they're taking with the game, but I really can't because it just doesn't work. And I was literally trying to get on as of like 20 minutes ago. Same issue, couldn't connect. So I'd be curious to see if anybody else that comes to the coalition has gotten any games in by the time this goes up or whatnot. Hopefully I have. If I have, I'll post it on Twitter, or I'll just post in the comment section or something like that it's live, just to let people know. I don't know. So just stay tuned on the coalition Twitter account.
So, like, I got a question though. What does this do for your confidence in Street Fighter V when the game actually comes out? Because like so far, Street Fighter 4 Ultra has been broken, and now this beta launches and it doesn't work. Like, are we still looking forward to this game? Like, do we still think it's gonna work day one?
I wouldn't buy this game day one because I think it day one.
You sound a little muffled right now.
Microphone, system malfunction. Make sure you check that microphone.
So can you guys hear me?
We hear you now. Yes.
Oh, I probably because I have my finger over the mic. Sorry, like that.
Oh.
I was basically saying it doesn't really do good things for my confidence. I'm not very confident that at launch this game's gonna work. I mean, that's the reality of this current generation. Like, games just don't at launch, unfortunately. This is not going to be anything different. I expect this. Like, I would not buy this day one. I'd buy this like day 17. That's when you hop into Street Fighter V. It'll probably work after 2 weeks.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, you have to emphasize this is a beta. You said yourself just now, well, this is a beta. So hopefully, you like to hope that the finished product is not going to have these issues. I don't know, but I do think the first impression should be somewhat of a positive one, not a negative one. So, what do you think, Mr. Singletary?
As you said, it is a beta. We are knowledgeable people within the games industry for the most part. Us four, I'm talking about, and when the issue happened last time with 4 or whatever, or Ultra, I guess. I recall one of the statements being that they should have something like a beta so they can iron out these issues. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we're getting. The beta came out. It's not working right. It didn't handle the stress test early. Like, fucked up. If they would have just dropped 5 without doing this beta test, then we'd be having a whole other conversation. But they are doing this. They're figuring out the online stuff, the connection issues. They're extending it, and then we'll get to see what the actual gameplay is like as long as they figure that out. But that's the purpose of the beta. It's not just a demo to try to game out. This is not just the gameplay. Everything surrounding it, your connection online, the way people interact. It's a test for all of those things. So it doesn't sway my opinion either way just yet.
Sounds good. So the final question: are all of you planning to get Street Fighter V at some point? I know Michael A has because he's already has a code. So
I didn't pay for my code.
Oh. Okay, so.
Am I planning to get Street Fighter V? Undecided. I mean, I'm an FGC head, so fighting games for the most part I'll get. Not even just because I want to play them, but more so just because I want to understand them. So that when I'm watching like high level play, because I like watching high level play with just about any game, I'll at least understand what's going on. So Street Fighter 5, yeah, maybe I'll get it. If I do get it though, I'll most likely get it on PC. Getting on PS4.
Okay.
just because PC is going to have more compatibility with different types, with a wider range of fight sticks. Like I have two 360 fight sticks already, and I won't be able to use them any other way unless I get the game on PC. So,
Well, I just have one comment to make about that. Let's hope that the PC version works properly, because a couple games that came out on PC as of late have not been working properly. So hopefully this is one where it doesn't have that issue.
I agree because PC has been getting kind of the short end of the stick, really on multi-platform releases as of late, and I still don't really understand why.
No, I don't either. How about you, Gary? Are you sold on Street Fighter V? Are you planning to pick it up, or are you not impressed?
Yeah, I'll be picking up the game because I support Capcom and I support Sony. Even though I'm very vocal, but yeah, I'll definitely be picking up the game. But I just got a question. Like, I wonder if Capcom realizes that they chose the wrong network for the most popular tournament game out there. I think they probably should have rethought that deal and given Sony Resident Evil instead, and then given Street Fighter to Microsoft or something.
Well, they
But,
can still do
that's
that.
just me.
They can still give them Resident Evil also.
I guess we'll see.
I think it's a situation where it's like they just went with who offered them money first.
What's up, Charles?
So,
I think Mike was saying what I was gonna say.
like, I don't think they really care about. I legitimately think they were like, we need money to make Street Fighter 5 happen. And Sony walked in the door with a briefcase full of money and say, "What you gonna do for this?" And this is the answer. If it was about the system that has the better online infrastructure, the more established record with being the choice for fighting game players for online, they definitely would have went with Xbox. But Xbox didn't put the money on the table with them. Sony did, and they figured, why not? It's a Japanese company. We have a longer history with Sony than we do with Microsoft. Let's make it work. So, honestly, this gen, I mean, if what happened with the PS3 is anything to go by, I think we're going to see a lot of improvements to PSN. So maybe that gap will be shrunken even more this generation. Hopefully, it has to be. Honestly, they're going to have all the fighting games on PS3, on PS4. But yeah, honestly, I'm not having a lot of confidence right now. I'm just like, yeah, I look at games like I look at the games that are on Xbox and how they work online. They work flawlessly. So.
Well, I mean, like you say, it is a beta, so I hope that the beta will enable them to fix all these issues and stuff, so that the game does perform perfectly day one.
Hey, I'd like to really respond very quickly to what you said, Gary. Yeah, and I have to say this. I give Sony a lot of credit because this was an excellent deal. Unlike a deal that we will discuss later that now we know, well, it really wasn't all that great. But we'll get into that later. Any final thoughts on this topic before we move on to the next one?
Gary need to stop hating.
Uh-oh. Save that ammunition for later. So next topic. Let's talk about a game that everybody has been excited about since they heard about it on Kickstarter, Mighty Number 9. Apparently there was some confusion this week, however, when they announced that the game may be delayed, but they didn't really confirm it. I mean, I thought that the physical copies may be delayed because the digital copy I think is what's coming out in September, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can shed some light on this story, Gary, because I believe you had a lot to say about this.
Oh yeah, so I think it was the physical ones, the physical version that's rumored to be delayed. So we might just be getting the digital version this year, and then the physical copies next year. But I mean, the thing is with me, it's like Kickstarter is great and everything for supporting these projects and stuff, but like there's always this uncertainty with the games, especially these big ones, like Mighty Number 9. I mean, I'm not saying like the smaller indie titles; those usually turn out great. But for stuff like this and perhaps Shenmue, it's like there's still a lot of uncertainty there. and I'm just wondering, like, do you guys think that Kickstarter can be unreliable for a lot of these projects? It's just a question. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Uh-oh.
And
Go
games
ahead.
funded on Kickstarter that pretty much fell through. It's always a risk. It's a risk you're taking. You know, I'm not saying that that's the norm. I'm just saying it's a possibility with anything that's funded on Kickstarter. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. Most of the games that are funded on Kickstarter actually come to fruition, and I'm positive, based on who's working on them, that Shenmue and Mighty Number 9 will come out. They might take a little longer than they expected, but it'll come out, and they'll probably be both solid product. I'm not
And what
expecting
about
either.
Star Citizen? Because Star Citizen, they're promising like a lot of stuff. Like, is that going to be perfect?
Hey, Charles, but I think Charles has something to say about that and what you said.
I got a lot to say.
Yes.
For one, the risks from having a game developed through Kickstarter is no different. Well, the only difference between that and it not being on Kickstarter or some other crowdfunding thing is the level of insight that we have into the process. And with the nature of Kickstarter, that's just a negative thing in a way that they probably knew that they would have to deal with it. Having that transparency means that you're going to have people there every step of the way looking at what you're doing, wondering what these updates are. Even though you have to go through the same processes as the major companies do when games aren't crowdfunded, when they have a publisher making these games. Another thing that people don't think about so much with Kickstarter, a lot of the time, the legitimate development of that game does not start when you find out that there's a Kickstarter. It starts when that Kickstarter is over with. And people don't think about that. Like, if you have Kickstarted something, you've gotten those emails from these guys where they're updating you on what, when they're starting things and the processes. Like, we know when you Kickstarter something, you need to know that it's going to take a while for it to come out. Simple as that. They have to go through the same development processes as everyone. With that risk comes every other risk that every other gaming development thing has, like delays. That shit been happening pretty often, even with a publisher, so I'm not surprised if a Kickstarter game gets delayed. Matter of fact, Kickstarter games get delayed a lot less than the major games because they're not pressured to put out things in a certain time period, like a holiday season or anything like that. They have their game already purchased. They're at that point, everything afterwards tends to be a profit because they already have the money to make the game itself if the Kickstarter goes well. On the subject of Star Citizen, it's really strange how people question it so much regardless of the incredible things that they have shown. Everything that they've shown from that game has been in-engine from that game, not alpha potential. It could look like this maybe. This gameplay that they're showing you in-engine. People have access. People that have already funded it are playing certain modules of that game. They just delayed the first-person shooter module, which looked fine, because they felt like it could be a whole lot better. And I don't have a problem with that. If they've and honestly, the people that support it don't have a problem with that either. Only people on the outside have a problem with it. It's like I've paid attention to like the Reddit and for that particular game and seen the comments and the conversations about it. Those people that have been supporting it have no issue with it whatsoever. They know that this team is putting together something that's going to be groundbreaking in the gaming industry, and they're willing to wait for it to come out.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Sounds good. Thanks for educating me on that.
Oh, okay. So I like to make a comment. Yeah, I mean, of the Kickstarter games that I know of, I haven't seen one that has been horrible so far. I mean, the Banner Saga was awesome. I'm sure that Deliverance game is going to be awesome.
Preview coming this week.
Oh yeah, see that? See. So I mean, I haven't seen any negative things on there. Mighty Number 9, as to whether or not that's delayed. No, I mean, I think it's fine. maybe the physicals are delayed, but the digital should be out in September when it's supposed to drop. But it does, bring to mind another question I would like to ask, because I sort of think that it is going to happen. Is there any game that is supposed to come out this fall you think will definitely get delayed until next year? Anybody can answer that question. You all can answer that.
What is coming out this fall?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, the real version of Tomb Raider is practically delayed till 2016.
Oh man. Yeah, the PC version is not coming out until the beginning of 2016. So you saying that the Xbox One version is horrible? That's what you're saying, right, Gary?
I'm saying, the PC version is coming out 2016. So.
Yeah, but what do you?
But early 2016 too.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of surprising to me because of how they phrased it. Because we've seen the phrasing for things where it's console exclusive and all that, where the PC version comes out. But they treated the Tomb Raider thing like the PC and PS4 versions aren't going to be coming out for a long time.
That's right.
And it really ain't that long. So, I mean, the PS4 one comes out the end of 2016, which is reasonable. That's what I expected it to fall into. But I didn't expect the PC version to be coming out so quickly.
It was very funny when at the Microsoft conference you hear when they're about to show a video, they say Xbox One exclusive. Then when they came to Tomb Raider, Xbox One exclusive, holiday exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. That's I couldn't help but laugh at that. It's just very weird to hear them say all this other stuff is exclusive and then holiday exclusive. Really? Okay. We'll get into that.
That's
though.
funny terminology.
Well,
To answer your question for real though, I think maybe Just Cause 3.
Nah, man, I don't know about that. That's good, but I don't know. I mean, December.
Well, the previous two games haven't been delayed before, were they?
No.
I think they take their time with that game. Like I feel like that game is.
So you think the game's probably pretty much done already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because just if you think about that game, like they don't start promoting it until it's getting to the point where it's about to come out. Like they keep it fairly quiet about that game. It's not like you have like 2 years of conversations and development videos and shit. They're like, yo, Just Cause is coming. This is how badass it looks, and here's the date.
But my thing is, I think this would be better as a spring game or something, because like there's gonna be so much to play out at that time already. Like, and Just Cause is a huge game in itself. So it's like,
Well,
Oh, I didn't catch that, Mike.
you say, Mike?
There's not a whole lot this holiday season, so I mean, it's not like they have too much competition.
Yeah, it's not an overwhelming amount of competition for them this holiday.
I mean, there's not loads of stuff coming out, but the stuff that is coming out is like it's lengthy stuff. Like Fallout, that's a lengthy game. Tomb Raider, that will probably run you like 15 hours maybe. Call of Duty multiplayer, people play that all the time.
I think
what else coming? Halo.
it influence and control Fallout 4 has. Like, I don't think Fallout 4 is going to be a game where it's like, oh, Fallout 4 is coming out that day, you're going to lose. Like,
only if you're releasing something just like Fallout 4, which no one else is.
If you're releasing another RPG, okay, maybe. But if it's not the same genre, you're fine. Fallout's not that game where it's like people are going to be like, I only have 60. I have to get Fallout. Like, no, that's not that type of game. Like, that type of game, it really isn't. I'm not saying Fallout's bad. It's a quality game. It's a big title. You know what I mean? Units. That's not going to be a game where people are like, oh, man, I want to just Cause 3. It looks amazing. But Fallout, yeah, I'll just pass.
Yeah, but Just Cause 3 is coming out in like December.
Fallout October?
No. Fallout comes out November 10th. Just Cause 3 comes out around December 1st. So that's enough time for somebody to get another $60 to buy a game if they want it.
I'm still playing The Witcher 3 like 2 months later. So like,
yeah,
for certain people, they might want to take their time with games. So,
yeah.
So with all these lengthy games coming out at the same time, something's going to get neglected.
Well, I do agree that with you about some of these games should probably get moved. Another game that comes out that same month is Hitman. That comes out like a week after Just Cause 3. So yeah, man. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, these games, I think Hitman will still do well. It's a popular franchise, but for it to come out that late, um, I don't. I mean, yeah, it's the issue of I don't know if people are going to have a lot of time, like you said, to get through all these games. It just depends on what they choose to buy, I guess.
I think it's marketing. They're gonna have to market Hitman because a lot of people don't even know it's coming back, and that had a huge fan base. So they market Hitman right. I think that can do well for them.
And the
Um,
last one was good.
yeah, game was amazing. Also, isn't Rainbow coming out this year?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
another.
yeah. But that's multiplayer only though.
Should be playing that in 2016. That's gonna get delayed. What else is coming out this year? There was another one I thought was gonna get delayed. I don't remember right now. I mean, it wasn't like there's gonna be two. I only saw like one or two games that most likely will be playing in 2016. But I mean, honestly, everyone's like really like, oh, Gamergeddon 2015. I'm looking at holiday season is this year. I'm like, I'll be fine. Like I'll probably still be playing backlog games, and that's that. I mean, the games I'm looking forward to on my PS4 are coming out next year, and the next well, never mind. But yeah, that's about it. Like I don't know. I'll probably get Fallout just because I got three. I actually really enjoyed three. I just thought it was kind of short. Like just the max for the DLC, max level was like 20 or something like that, which was kind of annoying. I hope they don't do that. You can't have an RPG where it's like you can get the maximum level better. You got to raise that up. Um, yeah, I don't know about any other games that play like that. They can't. That's the other thing. A lot of these games, they can't afford to delay them again. Like they can't afford to delay the division. That's pretty big delay again. You know what I mean? Like, no, the games in the 1 year time frame that we have now, from this day to 1 year in the future, they have to come out when they say for the most part because if they're delayed again, people just stop caring.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. As for Mighty Number Nine, as I said before, I think that game will still be out. Maybe the physical copy will come out later, but I expect to see that game, you know, out on PSN and Xbox and PC and everything else in September. Um, any final thoughts on this topic before we move on?
Mm-mm.
So, and this is, I know we have a couple people watching. I'm actually talking to a friend. I told him to tune in for this. Was the next topic. It's been news all over. News all over is a situation that just kept escalating time and time again. So let me tell you something, brother. Mr. Hulk Hogan, Mr. Hulk Hogan, the icon of WWF, WWE, whatever the hell you want to call it now. Everybody knows that he was involved in a little bit of controversy these last couple days, where he had some comments, some racist comments. Well, we found out yesterday that now WWE 2K16, which is coming out in October, another one of those games is coming out at a crowded time. The developers have decided to take Hulk Hogan out of the game. Now, the reason why this is a big deal is because we know how WWE, how these developers operate. Every time they don't update the game properly, nor do they do any of this other stuff. But for all of a sudden, they're like, okay, yeah, we'll take Hulk Hogan out, possibly because WWE told them get him out of there as quick as possible. But Gary, you brought up this topic, so how do you feel about this subject matter? Give us some insight.
Yeah, I mean, the whole issue with Hogan, that's an issue in itself. I'm sure we might touch on that a little bit. But, as far as removing him from the game, it's like, how comes they can make, this big of a change to the game, 2 months away from release, but, they can't make major changes that people ask for every year with the roster. Like, why is it that when the game actually ships, like when you actually go to the store and buy it, everything is always outdated already. So like, if they can remove Hogan from the game, why can't they make other updates to the game at this point, so that it's not dated on day one? That's my question. As far as Hogan himself, well, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that.
Well,
I want to hear what Michael A has to say about that.
Yeah, I do want to hear what Michael A. and Charles have to say, but let me just say this real quick. You asked as far as Hogan, you don't know what he should do. Hogan should eat his vitamins and say his prayers, because that's what he needs now. He needs some help, religious help, because he's looking real bad right now. But Michael A., why don't you tell us your thoughts on the subject, what you think about 2K as a developer, because I have a lot of complaints about 2K, but I'm going to get into that afterward, but go ahead.
A lot of underrated games is too. Like, I loved Mafia 2 on 360 PS3. Like, that game was like one of the most underrated games from last gen. It was really, really good. They also have a history of kind of releasing games with promised features that don't work. 2K15, the base game, or just features that don't work year after year. NBA 2K, and in this case, WWE now. So I remember I got last year's, and it was playing My Career, I believe, where you would randomly just glitch out and go to the main menu. Then there was nothing you could do about it, and I don't even know if they ever fixed it.
No,
like,
they didn't. No. What was the issue with NBA 2K? Because I didn't know that there was an issue with
2K had that new man. They had that new thing where you could get your face into the game and put your face in, and it didn't work.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, and I spent hours trying to get that working, thinking, man, I must have had the right. I had every light in my house on, even lights in the bathroom, and I wasn't in the bathroom. I'm trying to get maximum lighting. We had the windows open. It was bright as hell in my house. Couldn't get it working. And I'm sitting like, man, I give up. I suck at it. And I go on Reddit and I see the monstrosity that everybody else is posting. And I'm going, oh, it just doesn't work. Maybe it's just because the Kinect was weird. Maybe it works on PS4. Nope, didn't work on that one either. I'm sitting there like, I don't understand, Ronnie 2K. When you showed that the commercial, you took your picture real easy. It was dark as hell in your room. You took that picture 1, 2, 3. It looked just like you. Why can't we do that? I don't know. That's neither here nor there. 2K, I think removing Hogan from the game is a huge mistake. It's going to cost them sales. Hogan is huge for wrestling, not just in terms of marketability, but in terms of the history and the influence wrestling has had on people. Like, it is Hogan. You can't deny that. Removing him from the game, like, really punishing. What if, if we even think he's really racist? Put him in the game so I can beat his ass in the game. Like, what are you? I don't gain anything from you the title.
The sound is dipping in and out a little for me.
For me?
Yeah, audio issues over there. What's going on over there, brother? What's going on over there? What's going on over there? Some audio issues.
If it's my microphone, Charles, you answer. I'm about to
You sound great now.
Yeah. So go ahead, Charles. You had something to say about this?
As far as the actual event that Hulk got into, don't really care. He said what he said. He said that he pretty much said in the video that he believes that everyone's a little racist, thus confirming that he believes himself to be racist or understands himself to be racist. So there's really not any questions. I don't know why people are defending it or whatever. It's a waste of time. The man, you got the man's own words. Whatever. As far as the whole removing him from the game thing, the ease of it just shows how simple these sports games are and how simply they recycle things.
Yeah.
We already knew this. This is the reality. I hate that it's like this. They need more competition, but that's not the nature of things at the moment. They want to cash in. Where some sequels or follow-ups have 10 to 20, this is just an example, 10 to 20 enhancements, taking it to the next level. These sports games want to take those 10 to 20 things and stretch them over 10 to 20 fucking years. And they are going to continue to do that, sadly. And the wrestling game is no different. Um, Now, on the politics of removing him from the game, that gets me into this whole thing where I'm like, they knew his nature behind the scenes. The only difference is now we all know about it. So I don't really care about the WWE politics and them jumping, because like have y'all seen how like a lot of the black people have been portrayed in the wrestling like
Oh
over
yeah.
history?
Oh hell yeah.
It's so hypocritical because Vince McMahon said the N-word live on air himself.
Yes. Yes, he did.
He's done it numerous times, like not just once or twice, like numerous times. He's called the N-word. He's called John Cena the N-word. He just said it while talking to someone else, like as a running gag. So
And here's the thing about that particular scene. They were aware of it because Booker T was there and reacted to it when it happened. So they were aware of what they were doing. Fully aware. But yeah, continue. What was you saying?
Just basically that kind of stuff is I don't believe you, WWE. I don't. Ain't nothing changing over there. Like y'all did it. Go ahead.
I had a theory that they removed him for another reason, and they're using this as a cover-up because the audio that they allegedly got rid of him for was like 8 years old or something.
Yeah, it's possible.
No.
I mean, his partnership with them was so loose anyway. Like, how much was he doing for WWE at this point? On a public scale, whatever. I mean, he'll always be Hulk Hogan. He's never been one of my favorite wrestlers, so I didn't feel a particular way about this. My thought was, another person spoke their mind and he's racist. Surprise! Moving on. I don't buy the wrestling games anymore. I haven't bought a wrestling game since like SmackDown versus Raw, which was so fun.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
What are you saying, Mike?
No, I'm saying I don't know. I don't even. I mean, I got attacked on this by some white people. I understand. I don't really consider them racist. Like, I don't. I mean, maybe just me being blinded by the fact. I mean, I wasn't even a big fan of Hogan growing up. I didn't become a fan of Hogan until he turned heel for the first time. Because I just liked heels growing up. I liked the people that everyone else hated. So that shit was dope. And he's done for the industry. So it's not even like I'm like Hogan's my favorite wrestler ever. Like, no. But it's just more like I've seen. Like, I mean, this doesn't sound silly. I think the black community, for a large portion of history, has actually rocked with Hogan because he's been pretty cool with a lot of black people. So, I mean, this is shocking. But, like, I mean, not to the extent that I'm like, this dude must hate black people. Because when you listen to what he said in the interview that really got me in trouble, like, he said, I'm a little racist. But, I mean, but everyone's a little racist. Now, if he were using that word, I'm not going to excuse him using that word. That was wrong. Like, there's no excuse for that. But, I mean, saying that he's a little racist, and then we're going to sit here and pretend that, like, people don't say racist or offensive or prejudiced things in private. Because this is the other thing. It's an 8-year-old tape recorded of a private conversation. Like, this isn't like something he said to a newspaper or to his friends. It was a private conversation. And again, I'm not saying that makes it right. I'm saying if everyone had their private conversations leaked, you'd not find anything offensive about anybody in any of those tapes. Like, let's keep it 100. I'm just telling the truth. He said what a lot of.
Can I point out something though? This isn't a situation where someone in conversation just dropped the N-bomb and everybody ran off with it.
Yeah.
His words were, "Fuck them niggas." in reference to his daughter dating black men. Like, it wasn't a, oh, brother, oh, nigger, oops, my bad. No, he went on a tirade about not liking black people, but not using the word black people every time it was niggas.
No, it wasn't even a full time. It was a small conversation.
More understandable, like, than him just like going all out with the N word, and like that just made it seem worse.
Yeah, like there's dropping something that offends people. Like,
excuse him using the N word. I said there's no excuse for that. Like he's a grown man. He's got to live with that. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying that if you look at what he was saying, he was answering a question, and also you bring up another point. Like he's talking about who his daughter is dating. I'm sorry, white men in America, if you talk to them about who their daughter is having sex with or dating, they're not gonna like the idea with her with any man. Period. But yeah, most white men, if you bring up the idea of their daughter being with the black man, they aren't going to like it. I know this from personal experience. They just aren't. I'm not, and again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it makes it, acceptable. I'm just saying, why are we pretending like this is some shocking new? And I'm not saying you are, because you said that you weren't even really shocked. So I mean, you aren't in the population of people I'm talking about. Oh my God, how could he? I'm like, really? So like, your father isn't like, no, like this isn't news. Like this isn't like shocking to me. He's gonna have to deal with it. There'll be repercussions. It's already happening to him. I'm like, hey, forget like 2-3 years ago, like I said before, Eminem was on tape saying all types of N-words and calling black women all types of bitches.
Uh-oh.
What happened to that? The black community forgave him real quick. All he did was say, I'm sorry. The same thing Hogan did, except Hogan didn't even make excuses. He said, there's no excuses. I was wrong. I'm in the wrong, and I'm apologizing. Eminem had all these excuses like, oh, my heart was broken, and I was young, and black people were like, okay. So I was like, wait a minute. Like, why are we pretending like this is going to in like a couple years? People are just going to forget about it and move on. Like, that's just what it is. And that's what I'm saying, basically. Like, this isn't shocking. I don't really, it's not like I see Hogan as somebody who, like, if I saw him on the street and, like, there was no cameras and he had me outnumbered, he'd lynch me. I don't see Hogan as that type of dude. I'll be honest. I would probably, like, keep a few feet further away from him because he's a big dude, and apparently that hard ER at the end of that N-word is an option for him. But, like,
well,
I don't get it. I wanted to play Hogan in the WWE game. I can't use Hogan now because he has to use the N-word? That's fair to me? The fuck?
Yeah. Well, listen, it is fair because he's not in any shape anyway for you to use him in the game. Let me make a quick...
Yeah, that man's stamina rating is too. What?
Let me just make a real quick comment. Listen, what you both said about not being surprised, you absolutely are correct. And the reason why I'm not surprised is because I look at how the company handles the other wrestlers of ethnicity now. You will never see any of the of those talent getting a push or getting a world title. That will never happen as long as these people are in control. So I'm not surprised that Hogan said what he said or he had his little tirade. It's all good. But taking him out of the game really doesn't matter to me because we already know. Listen, let's keep it real. The game is going to be garbage, right? Let's keep it real. We know what to expect. Every single year they release this game. It's the same roster. They add a couple more superstars here and there, but they don't update it. The fact that they were able to easily remove him. Take last year. You had CM Punk in the game, and you had him as a pivotal character in the story mode. So I can see why you kept them in there because of the story. You don't want to lose that content. But again, to me, it's like it does show that the developers are lazy. I would just say that because again, they have an option for you to create your wrestlers and customize them. And a lot of people put a lot of time into that and come up with excellent creations that then you see these people tweeting on the developers are tweeting on the account. Look at this awesome creation of Dean Ambrose in this outfit. I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck couldn't y'all do this in the game or provide updates over the time that the game has been out? Like they do not support the game, so that's why I said the game is going to have a lot of issues. I look forward to seeing it. And another thing about 2K is, if there's one thing I learned from 2K this year, not every game, but some of these games they drop with the DLCs and stuff, it's not a finished game. Evolve, which I thought was a fun game until I played it, and then within about 2 hours I was done with the game, and I said, oh, that's it? $60 for this shit? And then half the other DLC, they're charging you. Oh, you want new hunters? That's $25. Hey, son, and just in case you get tired of that, we also got another DLC pack for you to download. Another $25 with 4 more hunters and another monster. I do not like how they operate. Borderlands, I know they treated that well, or at least I've heard. I have never not played any of the Borderlands games to know this, but I do believe Gearbox has done a better job with their DLC. But any other DLC that 2K releases, not good for them. So we'll see what happens with this game. But you was gonna say something, Michael? If somebody was gonna make a comment, Gary.
I was gonna say, think of it this way: they take out Hogan right before the game comes out. Congratulations! I'm paying you $60 for a complete game with one less wrestler.
Yeah.
Why am I still paying you $60? There's less content in the game now than there was like a month ago, just because of a knee-jerk controversy. And like Gary said, honestly, and I'm not big into conspiracies, but I mean, people got to kind of look at the big picture here. I don't think that this is why the WWE let him go, because the WWE is racist themselves. Let's be honest. Come on now. The big time tag team champions, 2 black dudes. Let's call them Prime Time. Really? Prime Time. So fucking hydraulic powered cars bouncing up and down, singing this quote: "I lie, we lie, we cheat, we steal." Excuse me.
Yo, what about those Mexicans they had on the lawnmowers?
Oh my God! Don't even. Okay, see, all of that. They always have Asian wrestlers. None of them can speak English. They don't do any of this stuff with the white people. I don't understand it. Papa Shango, all these tribalism kind of no.
Hey, Godfather, pimping ain't easy.
The Godfather will get on the whole train. Excuse me. Come on, DJ Quick with that whole Nation of Islam. Like, it's just all of this like racial nonsense they do there. They're racist. And then they want to remove Hulk Hogan for being racist, right? You know who else is in the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, for no fucking reason? Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I announced they're removing him from the Hall of Fame for being racist, because he's pretty fucking racist. Last time I checked, with this comments about Latinos, but he's staying in the Hall of Fame for no reason. I really don't get it. Triple H has been, people in the industry have come out and flat out said Triple H is like damn near Klansman racist. Like, it's really bad. He's still in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, why are we pretending this is it? And then, like, you look at who's releasing all this information. Oh, it's Gawker. Oh, you mean the same people that he's currently in litigation over his sex tape being released and suing them for, I think, like $100 billion? They just happen to release all this information? Really? Like, that's a coincidence to just everyone in the world? No one's seeing that as a little confusing and maybe, like a warning that something's not right here. And again, I'm not making these excuses for him. He said what he said. It's like Booker T said on Twitter in response to it. It's unfortunate he said this. He's a grown man. He will have to deal with it. Yeah. That's pretty much his stance on this. Like, I'm not going to make it, like when he's losing out and stuff like that, I'm not going to make any excuses for him. If he's genuinely sorry, he's going to be willing to put the time and the effort in and make these sacrifices to get in people's good graces again. And I honestly don't see that as being a big deal for him. But then again, I'm telling you, a year from now, we won't be talking about this. Because when I brought up the Eminem thing, I guarantee most people were like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's how the world works. People can be racist one day, and the next day they're back to being your top 10 MC of all time because you just forgot. They might also wear a Klans hoodman hoodie at nighttime. You never know. So,
but Eminem signed 50 Cent, so he's not racist.
Shut up, Gary. How would you say something? Yeah. No, that doesn't excuse what he did.
Well, we'll just close off by saying, his actions, there really is no excuse for that. Yeah, he will have to deal with that. But taking him from the game, that does make me think about, what all the times the developers could have added stuff to their games, and then they're not doing nothing. So I will say this first and foremost. I'll make it official right now. When the game comes out, make sure that you come back to the site and check out my review, because I will keep it real. I will keep it real. Now, I said the game was going to be trash. If it is trash, you will definitely know about that. But, I definitely will have some opinions on it. So check out that later on this year because I'll have a lot to say about it. But
Oh, question: has the game gone gold yet?
no, it has not gone gold. That probably won't happen until I'm guessing September.
Don't say if it's already gone gold, then all people would have to do to use Hogan is just not download that day one update.
That's a good point. I mean, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure you will still be able to create Hogan in the game, because unless they remove all type of materials. But you know, we'll see about that.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask too. What's that wrestler that's got the Hulkamania gimmick or whatever?
Yeah. You talking about Curtis Axel? Yeah, they've already killed that gimmick now. So the next time you
What,
see,
is that gimmick in the game though? Like in
well,
his...
that's a good question. It probably won't be. Listen, you know that they are ridiculous when it comes to updating stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if you know, they have him before he made that little change. And the same with a lot of other wrestlers. You'll still have teams that have already broken up. There will still be a full-fledged team when the game drops. You know, so we'll see what happens. To be determined. Any final words on this topic?
Yes.
Yes.
Two things on that Eminem thing that he used as an example. I understand why that was used as an example. I want to point out two things about that. One, it was in 2003, and if something like that happened with Eminem now in the Twitter age, dude would probably get crucified. And two, that was the source using video from when he was a teenager. Granted, like you said with the Hogan thing, I'm not giving him a pass for it, but he was a white teenager.
Yeah.
In 8 Mile. I'm not surprised. Just like with Hulk, I'm not surprised. But that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Good points. So let's now go to the final topic of today's show, and this obviously, I'm glad that you chose this as the final topic, Gary, because when I came to the site, when this news broke, and I came to the site, I look in the trending section and I see this story is trending. And I look at the comments section and I see people back and forth arguing, some defending it, some, happy for the most part. But we already knew this. So here we go. Tomb Raider, it was announced, is coming to PlayStation 4 Holiday 2015. As we have already said earlier in the show, 2016. As we already said earlier in the show, it's coming to PC at the beginning of next year. We also said, as I said earlier in this show, the Street Fighter deal was awesome for Sony because that game, it will not be a Super Street Fighter 4. They've already said that the Street Fighter 5, that's it. PlayStation 4, that's it. That game is on that console and PlayStation and PC for, that's it. When they make a fit, maybe it'll be on Xbox, but this is the exact opposite because, again, Microsoft said we need a holiday game. Let's pick up Tomb Raider and let's make it exclusive to our console for the holiday. So now that we know how long this duration really is, what do you guys think about this? Do you think Microsoft made a dumb decision to spend all this money just to have it for a couple of months, or what? How about you go first, Charles? What do you think?
They understood what the perception would be by announcing a Tomb Raider exclusive for their console when it comes to the fanboy fan base. And they probably had to spend a little bit of extra money to get the PC version into 2016 so they could say exclusive holiday season. We mentioned that terminology earlier. Will it be worth it? To us more rational people, no, it won't. But to the fanboys, there's just more ammo for them. And it's going to be on a little graph that they're going to use in their forum battles with Sony fanboys and the Nintendo fanboys, if they still exist. And really, I've been saying this a whole lot this episode, not surprised. Well, not surprised with the PlayStation part. The PC part is kind of surprising that it's coming out, a couple months after. But just like I said, they probably had to it was probably initially going to be just a console exclusive console timed exclusive like other games have been, where it's PC, Xbox One, PS4 version come much later. Because one BioShock, the first one like that, where it came out on Xbox and PC, and then the PlayStation version came as later. Same situation. They just, hey, how about you put that PC version a little bit further back so we can get this holiday season rolling real quick, because we got some money to make. But I don't even know if I'm gonna get the PC version. PC versions of games, AAA games as of late, they've been a little sketchy. So.
That's true. Okay. So, how about you, Gary? What are your thoughts?
Whoa, sorry, I had computer issues there.
Uh-oh.
My thoughts on the game coming to PS4?
Yeah, 2016.
I mean, it was inevitable, and now we know that it was exactly 1 year. The deal was for exactly 1 year on consoles. And I mean, it's good. I mean, I don't know if they'll give us extra content with that. I mean, I assume it's going to be like a Game of the Year edition with extra content and stuff like that. So essentially, it will be the definitive edition coming to the PS4. But I'm sure all that content will be available on the Xbox One as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, everyone gets to play Tomb Raider, so that's the good thing. No complaints.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Was this a win for Xbox, do you think?
What?
Was it worth it? Was the deal
think?
worth it?
Well, you asking me specifically or everybody? Because I do have something to say about this. I think everything that Charles said was pretty much on point. As far as this, I personally don't think it was a win for them, because to know that the PC version is coming that soon afterwards, it's like, oh, well, I mean, anybody could just wait. I mean, if you are picking up Fallout 4 this year, and you know that this is a game that's coming out on the exact same day, you can just play Fallout all the way through and then pick up the PC version of this game in, January, February? I mean, they haven't announced the date, but they said early 2016 it'll be on PC. So, to me, I don't really think it was worth it. I want Microsoft to stop this first on console stuff, because, I understand that Sony does it as well, but for real, the deal has to make sense in as far as the larger scope of things. But I will say this, because there's a bigger question that I now have to ask. So now that we know this game is coming out 2016 fall, what are our thoughts on who is going to have an excellent 2016, knowing the stuff that we do somewhat know is coming out next year? Because, of course, we know Uncharted 4 is coming out next year on PlayStation 4. We know this is coming out, so is it safe to say that Sony's going to have an excellent 2016, since they don't really have much this year in terms of their lineup?
I mean, all signs point to Sony having a great 2016, but don't count out Microsoft, man, because they got some good stuff coming out too. Quantum Break. I mean, I don't know if that's actually dropping next year, but I assume so.
It is.
I'm hoping, I guess we'll learn more at Gamescom, but Scalebound and Crackdown and all those other great titles they've got.
I do agree with that. I personally do not think that Crackdown is coming out next year, but again, as you said, we'll find out at Gamescom exactly what is coming out, and then we can see who is primed to have a great 2016. I think they both can do well, but what do you guys think? How about you, Michael A.? I know you haven't said anything about this topic yet.
Honestly, I understand why Microsoft did it. I don't think they should have. But I get they did because they didn't have anything against Uncharted.
Microphone check.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it was cutting it in and out there for a second. Try it now.
All right, can you guys hear me clearly, or am I cutting out still?
Oh no, I hear you clear now.
So basically, I was just saying that I think that the move worked out for Microsoft. I don't think it was. I don't think they needed to do this for Tomb Raider, but I understand why they did it. They didn't have anything like Uncharted.
Yeah.
Um, will they see any financial benefit from this? Of course, because this holiday season, that's going to help them. And that's what Microsoft has been banking on as of late, is the holiday season in terms of hardware sales. So I think you'll see them do very well. I honestly think the reason the PC version's not coming, honestly, I expected the PC version to come out the same time that the Xbox version did. And I think that the reason it's not is because they want to make sure that the PC version works. That's why we're not getting the PC version until like early 2016. Because if they had the confidence that it would work perfectly, I think they'd release it at the same time. Microsoft seems to be more open with their titles coming out on both PC and Xbox now. Like, they don't see the PC as something that's they don't see it as a detriment anymore. They see it as an ally, and that's pretty smart actually. And that benefits.
That is a good point. That is true. That has changed.
The reason everyone pretty much is coming to PS4 a year from now is because if the exclusivity deal was any longer than a year, there'd be no point in releasing the game on PS4 ever. So if it was like a 2-year deal, why would you buy it? No, it wouldn't matter in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, Uncharted would have been out for a full year, and the game would have been on Xbox for 2 years, and on one of those two platforms. So it just wouldn't make sense to be any longer than a year on PS4. Well, I don't even think it's going to sell that well on PS4, to be honest with you. I think a lot of Sony fanboys are mad that this deal happened, and they're going to boycott. And
I can't understand them.
You can't. I can't. We can't hear you, Mike. We kept cutting in and out.
I might understand what's going on.
Well, I mean, the internet lords might have checked your mic after you said that nonsense about Sony fans boycotting. So
yeah, that's what happened.
I guess that's what happened. I don't know what to do.
I do. I would like to respond to that comment directly. Honestly, I think it will sell better on PlayStation 4, and let me tell you why that is. The same people who was mad that they had the whole deal in the beginning, they're still going to go out and buy the game, and depending upon how Square Enix markets the game, and then they talk about, oh well, this is the definitive edition of Tomb Raider, which means it's going to look better and it's going to have all the DLC. I mean, it's all because perfect example. Look at a game like Portal 2, right? When that came out, a lot of people bought that on PlayStation because they know Valve. When if you recall, Sony had their conference, and Gabe Newell came out on stage and said, "Oh yeah, we made the definitive Portal experience for PlayStation." So they can use the correct language and terminology to guarantee that they will sell well on PlayStation, and of course that console is leading in sales now. So listen, let's be realistic. PlayStation is going to have an excellent 2016 because Street Fighter, if it works properly at launch, Uncharted, and now you add a game like this, and we haven't even talked about Last Guardian or any of the other games that are going to possibly be coming out next year. I mean, I think that they pretty handily are going to sell better on PlayStation 4 than Xbox One. That's just my opinion, though.
I don't see how it would sell better waiting a year. And people have getting it on Xbox and PC. If it was just Xbox, but PC as well, a lot of people that play on PC or PS4 have the option of getting games on PC. So I don't think that, I'm not saying all of them, but I think enough of a good portion of them will get the game on PC instead of just waiting to win. Because it's not going to be like a brand new game. It's going to be all a marketing ploy. Get people to buy it on PS4. And for that, I mean, I don't know. It's but I think a large part of that is because people are comparing it to the lineup of 2015, which is horrible. So yeah, it's gonna be amazing in comparison. Also, they have exclusives in 2016, so that's gonna be huge. I don't think rate is gonna be a major factor. They have exclusives that are gonna be major factors. I think both companies are doing really well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. It's going to be interesting. I mean, like I said, there'll be quite a bit to play this holiday season. I know you said earlier there ain't really that much to play, but there'll be some games keep people busy for a little while. But as for Tomb Raider, we'll have to see how that pans out. No, I'm not surprised of the duration of the deal. I mean, Microsoft, they try to confuse people, and Square Enix as well, because they use words a certain way when they announce this game. And then they said, okay, no, actually is a timed exclusive. But, yeah, all to do what they did. I still don't think it was, the best decision that Microsoft has made. I understand why they made it. They don't have nothing like Uncharted on their console. That's fine. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want, like I said, what I saw of E3 when they showed Sea of Thieves, when they showed Recore, I want to see Microsoft focus more on the first party stuff and not these little third party deals, because you don't need to. I mean, Phil Spencer said himself he's focused on new IP and stuff like that, so they need to maintain that focus. I understand you want the third party deals to some extent, but really it's like, well, whatever. The game should just come out on every console anyway. But that's my opinion. Just my opinion. Any final words on this topic before we?
Question: When?
Repeat that. The microphone.
When does what?
When does Gears 4 drop?
Holiday 2016.
Oh, there you go. That's another one.
So that's huge for Microsoft there by itself.
Oh well, you know what? Let me say something real quick about that. It is huge for Microsoft, but I have to say this. I was not impressed with that little presentation they had at E3. I would like to hope the game will, there'll be a lot more to explain, and we'll know more about the game as we get, as it gets closer to the release time. But what I saw, I wasn't too impressed with anything, honestly. But yeah, some people did like it. That's just so you know. No, I wasn't impressed with that. But yeah, that's a big deal. That's next holiday. I don't really know what else they got coming out around the holiday, whether or not Sea of Thieves is going to come out around that time. I know Recore is coming out in the spring, unless that gets delayed. But we'll see. Probably another Forza Horizon game, Forza Horizon 3 or something like that. I mean, it's too early to say anything, but maybe we'll find out at Gamescom more about these other games. What do you say?
Gigantic, the mobile.
Oh yeah, Gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is coming out this year. Actually, the beta starts next month, I believe. So yeah, I'm not sure when it's coming out. It is coming out this year though, supposedly. I don't know when though, but maybe we'll get a release date soon.
Honestly, 2016 is the year that these consoles should have dropped.
Oh, this year?
No. 2016 is the year that the Xbox One and PS4 should have dropped.
Well, that's...
You can make that argument for any console 2 years into their process, though.
Oh, but I mean, okay. What the systems were going through during these first 2 years. 3 and 3.
Well, hey, listen. Maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe perhaps if the Xbox One did drop in 2016, by then they would have found out a way for them to master 1080p perfect on every game, and I have any issues with that. But that's another topic for another day. But sure. So what?
So maybe the PS4 would have figured it out too.
No, PS4 is all right. They okay.
No. Every game is 1080p. I don't. Had games, and then the developer was like, "Oh no, that's not going to happen. We can't do that."
Well, That's a valid argument. I'm gonna ask. I'll tell you what. Well, those of you that are watching or listening to this, why don't you answer that question in the comments section, and you tell us, do you think these consoles should have came out in 2016? I mean, I personally, I have enjoyed what I played so far on both. I enjoyed Infamous Second Son, even though I know Gary said that game is too short, and I agree with that. But the game was still pretty decent. Bloodborne, a good game, very difficult. So of course I did not finish it, but hey, not that all games have been bad. They've been somewhat decent. So
Yeah, there's been two really good PlayStation 4 exclusives so far. So
what's
can't
that?
complain too
Bloodborne,
much.
and what's the other one?
Infamous and Bloodborne. So
What
yeah,
about Until Dawn, Gary? That's one of your games you're looking forward to, right?
don't get me started on that.
Just forgetting about the order.
Oh yeah, the Order. That's right, the Order 1886. So,
Yeah,
hey,
don't get me started on that either.
I thought it was all right. But yeah, for those again, any fans listening or watching this, let us know if you think these consoles should drop in 20 should have came out in 2016 in the comment section.
I think they should have came out 2015 this year.
Yeah, I mean that could have happened. That could have happened. But what exclusives would have Sony have had? What, the Killzone Shadowfall game, Infamous, and yeah, that possibly could have happened. But hey, I don't have any complaints with either console. I enjoyed both so far, so I'm a little biased with that. But any final comments on this topic? Well, as we get ready to close out the show, you guys all set?
Charles didn't really talk much.
Oh no, he's good.
Okay.
I didn't talk much. On some of those topics, I talk long as shit.
He had a lot to say. So no, he's good.
I mean, on the ones that we closed out on, I didn't have too much of an opinion on them personally. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's totally understood. It's all good.
Thanks for the beta test, Xbox. What I have to say.
Beta test for what? Beta test for what?
beta test for a menu screen, my brother.
Oh Lord, yep. We know about that. That's all good. Microsoft trying to make their little changes. So this concludes this week's episode of the Co-op Podcast. You guys have any final shout-outs that you would like to give? How about you go first, Michael A.? Any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout outs to the coalition for having me on, and yeah, shout outs to the cat section as well too.
All right. How about you, Gary? Any shout-outs?
Shouts to Corey Dillon. Shouts to Damien. Shouts to Riku-san for hitting me up with the anime link. You know, he's the reason that I'm watching Dragon Ball Super, because I didn't know where to watch it, but he hit me with the link. So shouts to him. And shouts to you guys. That's it.
Sounds good. How about you, Mr. Singletary?
Thanks for having me once again. I wish I could be on every week, but that's not the nature of my work schedule, sadly. But if you do want to catch me, hit the Knights of the Turntable Definitive Hip Hop Podcast, because we talk about that dope and that whack. We address it all. Make sure everybody know what's good. Michael A. occasionally pops up on there and drops some knowledge as well.
Don't lie to the people. Don't tell them that.
Word. But I just want to thank everyone. Shout out to the comments people. I haven't been interacting with y'all a whole lot. Part of it is because I wanted to let all these things happen and kind of ease myself back into the conversation to see how stupid a certain person looks at this point. But, you know.
Gotta go with the individual, Charles. Why the individual?
Because that particular individual really should shut up. Like it's not the hardest thing in the world to actually use facts in a conversation. Like, you know, Google is at our disposal. Just wanted to say that. Most browsers have it embedded in everything. Even your phone. There's no excuse. So it's whatever. Hey, hey, Tomb Raider Timed exclusive. Everybody knew that, but you. So everybody knew that.
Talking to, man, don't let them get away with that. Go back at them. You know, don't let all over you. That's cyberbullying.
Yeah, and you know what? I like it. I want people to come back at me. Gary came back at me. Gary comes back with some ammo, like some live ammo. Don't come at me with no blanks like you always do. Like don't come back at me with no blanks. You just shooting off the little poppers from the dollar store off in the air. Like bring some knowledge. Like and stay on topic too. God dog. Like for real, if you want to box with me, you got to step into the rings with some real stuff. Simple as that. And I'm done.
Yeah, well, that's a very direct comment. So,
Man, Charles thinks I'm a member right now.
sounds good to me.
Wait. What?
Well, what did he say? What did
I
you
didn't
say, Michael?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. He didn't say nothing. Okay, all right. He didn't say nothing. So when we play this back, we'll definitely have something to say. Okay, all right.
Mm.
So yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to all the people who continue to support us. Visit the website as well as listen to these shows. For those that are interested in possibly donating, of course, you can do so by looking at the eye icon in this video. You click on that, you are able to donate. Again, this show will always be free, so that is not mandatory. Anything that you do, any money that you do give towards the show will improve the quality. I know we're going to have to get Michael a new microphone because I heard a couple of technical issues over there. So we'll have to invest into that.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, once again, we thank you all for listening, coming to the show. Feel free to leave some comments because I'm pretty sure that you have something to say about the topics that we discussed today. And we will have a lot more to say because, Gamescom is right around the corner. And, we're going to have a lot to say about that. So stay tuned for that. But until then...
There'll be some mad fanboys during Gamescom. I can't wait.
Yes, without question. But until then, thank you all for listening. We will see you all next week. Play games, have fun. That's it. Peace out.
Peace.